I'm trying to see over here
I think
if he leaks something, you know, like on his screen. Does he have the mirror?
You know, you have like these like long like battles, and then it's a draw, and you're just like, oh, I wanted to. I mean, I may maybe even be okay taking a loss there, you know. But like,
all right, who they gonna
this
who's
you
gonna
definitely
use?
get a winner.
Yeah, definitely.
Show me D.Va.
I really like game modes where the actual objective and the mechanics
Oh, look at
pace
that.
out the
He's gonna play
speed
D.Va.
of gameplay, and it was really hard for us to do that with 2CP. You
Bol-
can have
Volvo
incredibly long
prosthetics.
matches in 2CP, and sometimes like really quick blowouts. And it just came down to what the two
Sombra.
teams were doing,
Racer.
and the game mode itself wasn't really doing anything to enforce that the way it
They
might
say
in
that,
control
you know, like
or
I
in
say,
payload. And so
they're
with
still
push,
working on it, so
we have more.
maybe
of that,
they
where
haven't
the game
added
mode
nothing
is
to D.Va
actually-
yet, but
is
we'll see,
actually
we'll see.
Helping to control the length of the match.
I'm curious
and
though.
the pace of the match.
Okay, I see nothing new with D.Va.
Yeah, it's, you see on the clock, it's a 8-minute.
Actually,
Clock
D.Va's
right
health.
now. So yeah, it is pretty fast. I think it's
I think
definitely.
D.Va's
intended
health is more
to,
armor.
Somebody's flying behind as poor Lumpy gets taken out right on.
That's a lot of armor for D.Va.
Lumpy was going on one of those flanks. Didn't turn out.
Actually, that's a lot of armor for D.Va.
So does the bot unlock right away?
It takes about 30 seconds for it to unlock, and the reason we do that is we don't want a team to think that there's a certain amount of pressure or to have all this pressure to get to
That's
it as
a
quickly
lot
as
of
possible.
armor.
We want you to be able to be strategic with the way that you approach the bot in the middle of the map, and it's very similar to the way that control works.
I think D.Va's the same. The difference is they gave her a
We
lot
see
of armor.
The robot. He's got a name, right?
Yeah, his name's TWO.
That's good. It's, we see some Genji play in action. Is you see like all the buildings you can kind of come from players, up above to the side. I think you can definitely see that like fast paced.
Okay, so D.Va's the same,
looks,
but with more health.
Way more like you can as a DPS player just kind of go off
Which
to the
is
side, make a
a good
play,
thing.
try and make a. You see here they're going right for the supports.
Yep.
And it's the
Yeah,
same.
and the map, there's still a main path in push,
Yeah.
and it's really important for us to have that in all of our map types.
DPS healer right
but there
here.
are a lot of ways to get around that and to get through it, and that's what creates a lot of these opportunities.
Going for the remake kill.
Oh, the sound of her gun. That sounds awesome.
I mean, I'm watching this. Yeah, I'm here. I'm fixated on the gameplay. I think, I mean, this looks really deathmatchy. Like, we're just, they're just going in, they're having a good old brawl, and then obviously as the mech or the point is moving through the map, it's changing.
The sound of
time,
the.
and it's just, to be honest, it looks fairly similar to what I played back.
Oh, we
at
died to that bomb.
Just with one less tank. It's just.
Yeah.
But also, D.Va bombs are gonna be awesome.
Like
if they don't have shield.
I'm somebody who I play a ton of DPS, and I'm excited that maybe not everybody will run around in like a death ball, and I'll be able to kind of like play Tracer and go off to the side and make a play. I noticed too the green health over Lucio here.
Oh yeah.
What is that on the
green
UI
health.
now?
Oh yeah.
You forgot about that. So many changes.
I was like, sound barrier doesn't give green health when I do.
It's blue.
Right. So that's something we're changing up. Like everything's work in progress. It's possible to change, although we're pretty happy with it right now. This is a change to what we kind of call overhealth. This is like a larger system, which is, in Overwatch 1 you can have over armor and over shields, depending on who's giving it to you, much like you can have normal health and shields and armor. So, once we started getting into trying to create clarity and make sure the game's very readable in all these senses, like I mentioned with Zenyatta's UI and everything, that came up too, is like, it's possible to get, especially you get into like PvE talents and stuff like that, your health bar can get really colorful really fast. Like, you could have health and then armor and then shields and then over health, armor and shields, and you could literally have 6 segmented colored health, and it was like, I can't even understand what I'm looking at right now. This is like so insane. So we ended up condensing all of the over health concepts into just one concept now, and so it was kind of interesting. Other than Summer's EMP, over shields was more of a thematic thing than anything, because it didn't regen like normal shields, because it's over health doesn't have a regeneration value. So it was kind of nonsense anyway, honestly. So now we kind of have everything condensed into green health, and it's very understandable that you see somebody with green, and you can see like, okay, that's not, that's over healthy. It's either going to drain, or if I shoot through it, it can't be healed and stuff like that. So,
and we're spraying Tracer.
Clarify all that.
Poor T's getting a workout going back and forth, but I noticed before there was like a circle.
Like,
so is there like kind of
watch.
capture points, like progress? Does that change the respawns at all? How does that work on push?
Yeah, it does. So the robot starts in the middle of the map, and it pushes those those red barricades in front of it, and you can use those to kind of like in world see what your high watermark is. And if the robot's able to push it to the checkpoint, it will unlock a forward spawn room for the team that was able to do it. You can kind of see it just off to the left here behind Reinhardt. So if the attacking team can push it over there, they'll unlock that spawn point, and it gives them a big advantage in order to kind of push through the rest of the map.
And then I assume when they're when 2 starts moving the other direction, I guess if he decides to start moving the other direction, they would lose that forward spawn, right?
Yeah, but there is
one.
Yep, there is an additional detail there. It's TWO has to be pushed back to the middle of the map before you lose your forward spawn room. And we actually started it the way that you described it, but a lot of times the robot could just move back and forth across this one checkpoint, and it got like really chaotic, and you'd have no idea where you were going to spawn. So we kind of gave you a grace period in there, or made it a little bit stickier by forcing him to return to the middle.
Yeah, that's a good call. I can imagine if that was the case now, yeah, you would have like, if I spawned this 1 second, I would spawn close, and then like Stylosis spawns the next second and he's far away.
Yep. And I mean, that happens in Overwatch, but it was just
That's a nice
way
grab.
too blatant.
This
with
double
that.
bubble Zarya is sick.
She is incredible. I love
What?
her.
It's actually a pretty
Yeah.
recent
Is
thing
that-
we checked it in, but it's pretty new.
Is her damage ramped up when she's charged? Like more so.
Yeah, I
well,
mean, yeah,
guess-
it's
yeah.
so you have the same bubbles you had before, but they're both using shared charges. So yeah, we found that because this increased flexibility in how you use it, she tends to be at higher charge more often. I mean, this is a good example, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
so
man.
it's actually even a lot of play
Damn.
tests. I can find myself like, sending a message
Just
to people,
melting
what was
people.
Your average energy, would you say? Or how often? I was like, this, you were kind of tearing it up. That seems a little insane. So, balancing TBD, but
It looks so fun though. I mean, as somebody who loves to play Zarya, like, I also can imagine the people that I would play with on Zarya would just automatically double bubble themselves and everybody
that was our
else.
first instinct,
maybe.
It's like,
A little
just
bit.
run in and double bubble ourselves, but then you start to think like, actually, if I save 2 and Genji pulls out his blade on my team, I think if I double shield him and I save that up, that's going to be kind of ridiculous. So.
Oh yeah.
I didn't even think of that. Like, yeah, not just applying the 2 bubbles to yourself, but you could, because they share the charge, you could theoretically like bubble a Genji blade and then bubble him again, right?
Yeah.
Or a Pharaoh ult.
Oh yeah.
Works really well.
Yeah, it's the same.
So
Ruben.
many,
It's
so
like
many
Chappie
different ways.
from
Yeah,
Call of Duty.
like, as it just kind of recently put in, coming off the back of the April 1st stuff and seeing how we feel about it, and it's been pretty interesting. I'm certainly concerned about it in some cases, but it also leads to some really awesome play. So kind of letting it rock for a while and see how it feels.
I do believe
Work in
Shield.
progress, but
Maybe it's
I
gonna
like
be
the
strong.
progress on that one. Design.
I could be wrong.
So, OT, how does the rule here work? I guess they have to push all the way to the end, or do they just have to beat the time of the blue team?
They just need to beat the time of the blue team. So the win condition for push is whoever has pushed it the furthest by the end of time wins, or if you're able to push it all the way to the end of the map, you'll win instantly. So now they're unlocking their forward spawn room right here.
The tragedy strikes for the blue team.
Man,
Yeah,
so
they need to
overtime
stay
can
near the
go
robot,
long in this mode.
I believe, to keep pushing.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so you can have, the good old blunder where everybody walks off the objective and
Oh, there it is. Des.
two
The right
just
click.
sounds sad.
The
I
bolt.
don't know what you're
Oh,
talking
it goes
about.
far actually.
Oh, that's a problem.
Yeah, I imagine these games go right down to the wire.
I mean,
just as we saw
definitely
there.
hectic there towards the end. This is going to be quite good for Overwatch, I imagine.